Carina Press and HarlequinAudio present Woods Ranch Books 1 through 3 featuring His Fresh Start Cowboy and His Reluctant Cowboy and His Accidental Cowboy by A.M. Arthur, performed by Michael Dean. His Fresh Start Cowboy.
Chapter 1. Well, that really sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Hugo Turner had just sat down at the long kitchen table with his dinner when that particular comment rose from the din of general conversation in the room. He'd chosen a spot in the middle so he could chat with his fellow clean-slate ranch horsemen, but now he looked up from his plate of meatloaf and mashed potatoes. The statement had come from Ernie and been said to Colt, both men older and more experienced than Hugo in, well, pretty much everything. Except horses. Hugo had been around horses most of his life, and he loved working with them every day here at the ranch. What sucks? Hugo asked, unable to help himself. He was the youngest horseman on the ranch, despite having just turned 27, and sometimes he struggled to really connect with his coworkers. Showing genuine interest in their lives was always a great in, right? Colt sighed and poked at his own meatloaf. He was a handyman on the Dude Ranch vacation spot, rather than a horseman. Talked to my parents this afternoon. My father's having trouble getting new hands, and Rand is worried that their shift to organic, grass-fed beef is going to fail because they don't have enough people to run the operation. Oh, wow, that sucks. While Hugo had left the cattle ranching life a long time ago, he'd grown up on a ranch that failed when Hugo was 10. During his parents' messy divorce, they'd sold the last of their herd and some equipment to Wayne Woods. Small and medium-sized ranchers were suffering all over the country because of corporate operations, and he was honestly impressed Woods Cattle Ranch was still in business, especially with the neighboring towns of Weston and Daisy offering few prospects for new families moving to the area. Families like the one Hugo hadn't gone home to see in years. Friends he hadn't seen in years. Teenage crushes he hadn't seen in years, except from a careful distance. When the entire Woods family came up to the ranch for Colt's wedding 2 years ago, avoiding them had turned into an art form for Hugo, helped along by his cowboy hat and allowing a bit of a beard to grow out, a beard he'd shaved off the day they left. He simply hadn't wanted to mix his new life up with his past in Texas, a past Colt didn't know about yet. Yeah, Colt said. Dad and Brand are putting their heads together, but it's not an easy lifestyle, especially if you aren't born into it. I know. Off Colt's curious eyebrow quirk, Hugo scrambled to correct his comment. I mean, I can imagine. I've, heard stories. After being hired at Clean Slate 2.5 years ago, it had taken Hugo a few days to realize Colt Woods was the older brother of his high school best friend, Remington Rem Woods. Colt had run away from home at 18, years before Rem and Hugo became friends, so Hugo hadn't had any clear memories of him, and when Hugo realized he and Colt had grown up in neighboring towns, he'd kept it to himself, not wanting to trot down that particular stretch of memory lane. He'd left Texas for a reason. Damn it. Your family thinking of selling out? Ernie asked, then shoveled a fork of steamed green beans into his mouth. I hope not, but it's a possibility, Colt replied. Our family has worked that land for generations, and I'd hate to see them sell. It's why Brand is making some changes to their operations, hoping to hang on a while longer. Seems to be having good luck with the wind farm in the south pasture, but he's banking on the organic beef. It's a big thing in the larger cities. Not that I can taste the difference. A steak is a steak to me. Several other guys at the table who were listening heard the comment. Hugo smiled and ate his food. This was very much a beef-consuming lot of horsemen, as were their weekly groups of guests. Every Sunday night they held a
Sample complete. Ready to continue?